Well folks, it's almost 2 years later and we're finally ready to unveil the final version of our Whisper Sling.
Finally, we've got a whisper.
We were looking to attack the subjective annoyance of sound. So we wanted to do everything we could do to take the annoyance out of our sound while knocking out a few decibels.
Hey guys, it's Matthew from Sling Pilot Academy. I'm super excited for this week's video. It's an almost 2-year culmination of a project that we started, and today Matt and Jean are going to give you the newest update and the launch of the Whisper Sling. Let's get to it.
Well folks, it's almost 2 years later and we're finally ready to unveil the final version of our Whisper Sling.
And here it is. There's been a lot of testing. We've done a lot of work refining it. We started off with big things, now we got to refine things, and finally we've got a whisper.
This all started because we were responding to the calls from neighbors around airports regarding airplane noise and emissions. 2 to 3 years ago when we started encountering this, our first instinct was to defend our airplanes as some of the quietest airplanes out there, considerably quieter than standard general aviation flight training airplanes. And we already use unleaded gasoline. Actually, a recent Long Beach fly-friendly report, Long Beach is one of the airports that we operate slings out of. Our standard slings, not Whisper slings, show that we are considerably quieter and higher on the departure than legacy flight training airplanes like Cessna 172s and Pipers. In fact, the latest Long Beach fly-friendly report showed that the average decibels produced by one of our standard slings, not our Whisper slings, going through the departure gate on one of the noise-sensitive runways was 77.8 decibels, and this compares to 82.9 decibels from a flight school that operates legacy flight training airplanes like Cessna 172s. Also, the Long Beach Fly-Friendly report showed that our slings were on average at about 638 feet above ground level going through this departure gate, and this compared to about 400 odd feet from the flight school operating legacy airplanes. So that seems like a small difference in decibels, but it represents a 70% decrease in perceived noise level for people on the ground. So when we started this process, we defended the fact that we were at least 70% quieter than existing flight training airplanes. But we realized that we could do more if we looked at attacking the noise produced by the airplane at the source. And that's where the Whisper Sling project was born.
We were being attacked for the noise, so we started this project and we attacked the noise. Started off with the exhaust system, and the exhaust system was what everyone thinks makes the most noise.
So obviously in attacking exhaust noise, we were looking to decrease the decibels coming out of the exhaust pipe. We knew that we'd already won the decibel war, but we thought we could do a bit better. But more than that, we were looking to attack the subjective annoyance of sound. And in this journey, we discovered that an oscillating sound and a high-pitched, raspy sound is annoying. A smooth, consistent tone at a lower pitch is less annoying to the human ear. So we wanted to do everything we could do to take the annoyance out of our sound while knocking out a few decibels.
We started off with a very long exhaust system, that big blue one, as you might have seen in previous videos. That, of course, was very effective, but wasn't a practical and elegant aviation solution. So lots of iterations. We did hundreds of hours, hundreds of flights, and tried over 100 different exhaust pipes. We then got someone on board that could work on developing this, and we did these flights day after day with different iterations.
This little exhaust silencer is as effective as our previous 6-foot-long exhaust silencer in reducing the sound and smoothing out the pulses coming out of the exhaust pipe.
This looks like a very, very straightforward silencer, but it's got some proprietary operations inside, some techniques inside that we've applied that make this very effective in the small size compared to the long one. That took care of the exhaust noise. We realized then the engine made a lot of noise.
To reduce the sound resonating, we covered the whole inside of the engine compartment with this very expensive sound deadening fabric.
Which works very effectively. It's got a very heavy layer of aluminum foil and then a high density foam and high heat adhesive backing. That put on the inside of the cowling completely damps the amount of noise coming from the engine itself, the thousands of explosions per minute inside that engine compartment, and it just silences that very mechanical, raspy noise coming from the engine cowling. With the exhaust silenced and the cowling acoustic dampening, we still had one more thing to overcome, and that was that big whirly thing in the front.
We tried 4-blade props with shorter diameter. We tried 2-bladed props, which produce a lower pitch. We tried a multitude of off-the-shelf 3-bladed props. We decided, based on our testing, that it had to be a 3-bladed prop. The 4-bladed props just produced too high of a pitch, and we were trying to get the pitch lowered for that soothing tone that we're looking for. So we knew it had to be a 3-bladed prop, and we couldn't find anything on the market off the shelf that did the trick. And that's when we approached Kato Propellers to start working with them on a custom whisper prop for our Sling whisper project. And they did not disappoint. Kato Propellers has developed what they call a non-planar prop, which produces 2 wingtip vortices. So the regular wingtip vortex that comes off the tip of the prop is disrupted and counteracted by a secondary vortex just inboard. And what that does is it dissipates the noise and the drag that is produced by this wingtip vortex. So not only does it quieten the prop and give it a completely different sound, it sounds like a little turbo prop, but it also increases the thrust. So losing noise with a propeller also means losing lack of efficiency. So it's an increase of performance and a decrease in noise. So we believe all propellers will be like this in the future. So now with the Whisper prop by Kato Propellers, we now have all 3 elements of our Whisper project in their final iterations. The quality of the sound is acceptable to us, and we find that we've gone below the threshold of annoyance to produce something that's really groundbreaking and revolutionary in flight training airplanes. And we are happy now to officially be able to finally launch the Whisper Sling as an available option to any other flight schools out there who may be operating in congested communities where noise is an issue. We feel like we've used the advantages we have in the category that we operate in to iterate and innovate and create something which is going to create much more harmony in the communities that it operates in.
So, our 3 elements of silence. This is what makes the Whisper the Whisper. We're going to go out now and do some testing, and you're going to hear what this does. Well, you might not hear what it does. Let's go see.
As well as legacy trainers, we also wanted to see how our Whisper Sling compared to electric airplanes. Santa Monica Airport, where we filmed this video, is home to some of the few electric airplanes that are on the market. While they're some of the quietest airplanes in production, they remain impractical for flight training, with less than an hour of endurance and with hours of charging between each flight. Thanks for watching. What do you guys think? Should homeowners near airports have to suck it up and deal with the noise of flight training, or is it on flight schools to reduce the noise that they produce? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and we really appreciate it.
It's time to blow our own trumpet.
Hi, I'm Matt. Okay, was I supposed to do that?